Welcome to the brain, Alfar.
You ever have that feeling? Like you're just stuck. You've got these big goals, you want to succeed, but you just can't seem to find the focus to get out of the day-to-day grind. Waking up, the commute, working a job you don't exactly love, then coming home totally drained. It's this brutal cycle, right? And if you've tried to break free but your concentration just evaporates, trust me, you are definitely not alone. But here's the thing you have to understand. This isn't some personal failure. Nope. It's actually a product of the world we live in. See, modern tech has created this massive, kind of cruel divide. On one side, you've got the users. These are the people who have the self-discipline to use technology to get ahead in the real world. But on the other side, you've got the used. The people who are being used by tech. Their focus completely hijacked, living their lives through a screen. And that gap between the users and the used, it's getting wider every single day. Pretty soon it might be impossible to cross. But, and this is the important part, here's the good news. Your brain isn't set in stone. It can be changed. It can be rewired. You absolutely can choose which side of that line you want to be on and start building a brain that's wired for focus and for success. So the game plan we're laying out in this explainer comes from Eman Gadzhi, a guy who became a self-made multi-millionaire by the time he was 24. And he warns that most people's brains are just being polluted, completely destroying their impulse control and their shot at a better life. So today, we're going to break down his 5-step plan to rewire your brain. We'll look at why we have this focus crisis, the huge threat of cheap dopamine, and then we'll walk through every single step to get you on the path to a completely rewired brain. All right, let's kick things off with why this is such a huge deal right now. Honestly, when it comes to concentration, there has never been a more difficult time to be alive in all of human history. Our brains are under this constant, relentless attack from something called cheap dopamine. Cheap dopamine is exactly what it sounds like. It's that easy, super high stimulation pleasure that you get for basically zero effort. You know what I'm talking about. Scrolling through social media, grabbing junk food, playing video games, watching endless short videos. 100 years ago, to get that kind of dopamine hit, you had to actually accomplish something. Today, we can get an unlimited supply for free, and it's absolutely wrecking our ability to focus. And here's how these things literally hijack your brain's reward system. When you're constantly flooding your brain with these easy, intense hits of pleasure, you just get desensitized. Your brain starts needing more and more stimulation just to feel normal. And you know that natural satisfaction you get from hard work, like finishing a tough workout or hitting a big goal? Yeah, that starts to feel, well, boring. It just can't compete. And look, this isn't just a vague feeling. It's straight up brain chemistry. Check out these numbers. Junk food can spike your dopamine by 100%. Nicotine, that's double at 200%. But the biggest offender of them all, by a long shot, is pornography. It can cause a mind-blowing 250% increase. Now think about it. If you start your day with a spike like that, your brain basically says, all right, job's done for the day. Your motivation is completely shot. So, this brings us to the most critical, most important, absolutely non-negotiable first step in rewiring your brain. According to Gadzhi, this is the one thing that is holding back 99% of young men. Step 1 is to quit pornography, immediately and completely. Gadzhi spends a ton of time on this point because he is convinced it is the single most destructive habit for modern men. It's not just about the hours you might waste, it's about what it is physically doing to your brain. He puts it bluntly, it literally burns out your brain's reward circuits, and the science totally backs him up. Studies show it destroys the part of your brain that's responsible for impulse control. Your ability to think logically just gets worn away, and you're left running on pure instinct. In fact, research shows that the brains of heavy users look shockingly similar to the brains of drug addicts. It leads to a massive drop in focus, higher rates of depression, and just an inability to enjoy real life. Okay, so once you've made the commitment to get rid of that biggest poison, it's time to build a solid foundation for your new, focused mind. So the next 3 steps, they're all about creating the right environment, both inside your head and in the world around you. Step 2 is to cast a wider net. You've got to quit all the other sources of cheap dopamine we mentioned, the video games, the junk food, the endless scrolling. Step 3 is about your internal compass. You need a clear goal written down, a mission. And step 4 is all about defense. You have to ruthlessly get rid of all the triggers that could pull you back into those old habits.
Now, you might be wondering, why is having a goal so critical? Well, there was this fascinating study that looked into the root cause of addiction. And you know what they found? It wasn't weakness, it wasn't a bad childhood. The number one reason was a lack of clear goals. When you don't have a mission you're working towards, your brain is just wide open to distraction and addiction. It's like psychology tells us, true happiness is found in the pursuit of a goal, not just in getting it.
Having that mission is your armor. But what about when you slip up? That's where step 4 is so key. See, the reason we fail so often isn't because we lack willpower. It's because our environment is just loaded with triggers. Gadzhi even calls things like suggestive Instagram posts soft porn. There are these little things that trigger that dopamine release and pull you right back towards the major bad habit. All of those triggers have got to go. Unfollow the accounts. Turn off the notifications. Literally change the route you walk so you don't go past the fast food place. You have to remove them from your sight. Because if you can't see them, the trigger can't get pulled. And all of that brings us to the final and maybe the most powerful step of all. So once you've cut out all the negative stuff, you have to replace it with positive actions. This whole step is about focusing on increasing your own value as a person. Gadzhi suggests 3 huge actions here. First, do a dopamine detox. Even something as simple as not touching your phone in the morning can reset your brain's baseline and make you way more productive. Second, and this is a big one, stop chasing women for 1 to 3 years. He argues this is just pure pragmatism. Your time, money, and focus are limited resources. Until you've built yourself up, that energy is way better spent on your mission. And third, you have to actively adopt high-value habits. Replace that junk time with reading, exercise, or meditation to build a person who is truly capable of success.
Woo! Okay, that was a lot. So let's pull it all together and just quickly summarize the entire path to getting that rewired brain. So here's the entire plan, one last time. Step 1, quit pornography, the ultimate brain burner. Step 2, quit all the other cheap dopamine sources, games, junk food, social media. Step 3, get a clear, written goal to give your life a direction. Step 4, get rid of all the environmental triggers that make you fail. And finally, step 5, focus on yourself by detoxing, conserving your energy, and building good, powerful habits.
You see, this isn't just about quitting a few bad habits. It's about understanding that real, deep fulfillment comes from the dopamine of effort, of achievement, not the fake, hollow pleasure of cheap stimulation. In a world that is literally designed to distract you, your ability to concentrate is your single greatest asset. So the only question left is, what are you doing to protect it? Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, and help us build the hype. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.